Now, Buba Galadima is a name that's well known in political circles in Nigeria. He's been in virtually all the main parties and has been close, professionally, if not personally, to all the top political players in the last few decades. Through most of it, he's been seen by some as a tireless campaigner for good governance in Nigeria, well known for his direct style and even more direct politics. But for others, he's become a sort of agent provocateur and more recently a stirrer of ethnic sentiments, speaking constantly about the implications of the rising anger and alienation amongst ordinary Nigerians, especially since he threw his weight behind the NNPP presidential candidate Rabiu Kwankwaso. Mr. Galadima is of course better known for his staunch support for many years of President Buhari, before he made what some say was an impetuous decision to leave Mr. Buhari and become an ally of the opposing PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, whom he subsequently left and is now in the camp of the NNPP's Rabiu Kwankwaso. So was it all a big sulk about feeling neglected and ignored? Or is there something deeply rotten about Nigerian politicians that makes them unworthy of the kind of support that Mr. Galadima can give? Well, the man himself is here to speak for himself. Buba Galadima, who's now a leading member of the new Nigerian People's Party, or NNPP. Thank you very much indeed. I saw you grinning while I was doing your introduction there. But you have to admit it is true.
No, Charles.
Of course it is true. That's certainly the way that the public sees you. And that's one of the reasons we have you here, so that you can tell them, those who think that maybe you've started to stray a bit from the right path of political rectitude. What do you say to them?
You see, Charles, you didn't get the history quite right.
Nobody ever gets the history 100% right from the other person's perspective, do they?
You know, I had been a friend to Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso for the last 32 good years. Mm-hmm. I was one of his best men when he married. So, and...
but you were very close to President Buhari as well?
Of course I was. And when I found out that he wasn't the kind of person that I would want to see to be the president of Nigeria, I pulled out and subterraneously supported Kwankwaso. That is one of my sins.
Yeah, but before you did that, before you supported Kwankwaso, you actually
That's why I'm putting the records right. No.
Well, you supported
I was accused of supporting Kwankwaso in 2015, 14, during the primaries, even in Lagos, even though I wasn't physically present.
Yeah, but we're trying to follow the trajectory of
that
your
is the trajectory.
support.
It's not you, it's me that will tell you the trajectory.
Okay, because you went from supporting Buhari to supporting Atiku.
No, I didn't support Atiku per se.
Well, you did. You sat in that chair and you supported Atiku in 2019.
I did in that respect. But because we had an alliance between my party and the PDP.
Right, okay.
So that was what it is.
Right.
Because as at that time, I thought that any other Nigerian would do better than Buhari was doing. And I'm proved right. I'm sure you will accept that, even though not publicly, inwardly you will agree with me.
I like that. Well, take a look at my insides then, see what's going on there.
So, the mere fact that I surfaced with Kwankwaso now is not news. All those knew us for the last 30 years knew that we had always been together.
Right.
And he's the kind of person that I thought should be given the opportunity to rebuild this country, because he's got all the antecedents, all the records to do that better than all the gladiators in the field today.
Well, I don't know why it sounds to me a bit like a broken record, because I mean, I do recall you saying pretty much the same thing about President Buhari.
Yes, and when I discovered that he wasn't the kind of person, I left. That is the courage you should give me.
Right, but let's look at the practical things now. I mean, let's get beyond all that. You are supporting Rabiu Kwankwaso. You're a member of the NNPP, and you're hoping that he will win the election in 2020.
Yeah, only God will stop him from being the president of Nigeria.
As I said, you're hoping...
All the mathematics and the arithmetic and the permutations suggest that he's going to be the president.
Well, let's look at the arithmetic then.
Yes.
Because beyond what is generally seen as his political stronghold in Kano, how popular do you think he is across Nigeria?
Have you seen his journey to Lagos some 4 or 5 weeks ago?
Well, I've seen the journeys of lots of politicians
when he addressed the mammoth crowd at Alaba Rago. Have you seen that? All the other presidential candidates put together can't put that kind of mass of people. Have you seen him when we went to Kwara, Ilorin, Ofa, and Erile? Did you see us when we were in Gombe? Did you see us when we were in Edo? Were you in this country when we visited Calabar?
Well, you see...
And I want to tell you, look.
Sure.
I want to tell you that Kwankwaso is the person to beat. The mere fact that the media does not portray us as such, because I had wanted to accuse you when you are putting the footnote there, and you put Atiku, Tinubu, Obi, and Kwankwaso. I wanted to say, wow, when did Arise TV become one of the oligarchs? Well, it should have been Kwankwaso and others running behind.
I like the way you would say that, wouldn't you? But let me put it this way, okay? Because you talked about, and that's a very important point you made. You talked about the arithmetic. The arithmetic is not the people you go to. If you go to a town or city, the number of people who come out, or whether or not you've got a large crowd or a small crowd. The arithmetic is the percentage of people in verifiable circumstances that have actually come out under the umbrella of your candidate.
Not umbrella.
So let's I like
under
that.
The map of
Wrong choice of words, right? But let's look at Mr. Kwankwaso and his Kwankwasia movement. Use an example of his purported stronghold, which is Kano. In the last election, his candidate for governor only managed to secure 21% of the vote, and Ganduje got, with the Buhari section, got nearly 80% of the vote. I mean, that doesn't sound like he has much political leverage mathematically in Kano, let alone the rest of Nigeria.
Charles, it looks like you speak like a Nigerian, not an American.
I'm not an American. Oh. I've never been an American. You mean, well, anyway, go on. It doesn't really matter.
They are listening to you.
We're not here to dissect me. We're here to dissect your candidate and yourself.
You said, why are you behaving like those ghosts in the social media who give upside down
these are
statistics?
These are figures, official figures from the votes.
I thought you knew that the first ballot, before the inconclusive nature of it, Kwankwaso's candidate was leading with 48,000 votes.
Well, it's the point.
So you forgot soon.
No, what we
history.
What we always have to rely on is ultimately the figures from the Electoral Commission, the final figures that emerged.
And it told you that the Ganduje scored more votes than Abba Yusuf.
Well, the point is that if he didn't, why isn't your candidate the governor there?
Why are you... Charles, I'm shocked and surprised of you today. Did you...
Is this about me, or is it about you?
No, it's about you, because you are the one that is asking me and putting me on the stage. Look, do you know that before the elections, General Buhari was asked if somebody defeats him, would he accept the defeat? What did he say? Would he congratulate him? He said, no, I will win and I will congratulate myself.
Right. Okay.
You forgot that?
Well,
and he did that exactly without anybody voting. He declared himself president.
Okay, let's move away from that.
No. We have to establish one fact.
Well, we haven't got that much time.
Kwankwaso is the lion in Kano.
Okay.
That nobody surviving today can defeat his candidate on an adult suffrage election, on a free, fair, and transparent election. Well, Island idiot Hassan is here.
Right.
You should call her to be my witness.
Okay, well, we're talking now beyond Kano about Nigeria.
So it's okay. If you are talking about Nigeria, let me tell you the arithmetic.
No, so let's go beyond that.
Let me tell you the arithmetic.
Right.
Northwest has 24 million registered voters. And the whole of that space called Northwest is left for the lion alone.
I like that.
Kwankwaso.
Okay,
listen.
Yeah, okay, go on.
Nigerians should know what is facing them. Take Northeast where I come from, and I speak the truth. Kwankwaso will win Bauchi, he will win Gombe, he will win Adamawa, he will win Taraba. The only states where he would have to wrestle the APC is Borno and Yobe. If you take North Central, we will win Plateau, we will win Nasarawa, technically we will win Benue, of course Kogi is his second home, we will win Niger. And now Kwara from our visit is falling in the stable. We will win Cross River, we will win Akwa Ibom, we will win Edo, we will win Oyo. We are fighting for the soul of Delta. If that Delta falls in, Kwankwaso on the first ballot would be the president of Nigeria. And in case you do sectional, tribal, and religious politics, what would happen is that Kwankwaso is going to come number one with the highest number of electoral votes, and whoever comes second, they will go into the election. Kwankwaso is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, God willing.
Right. Well, as I said.
And let me land.
Sure. Okay. Go on.
Of all the candidates in all the parties, forget about the big four that you showed on your television. There is none of them that has got the CV of Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso. And none is half educated as he is. Not only education by reading sociology or history or economics, engineering, a PhD holder in water engineering. He has been minister, he has been deputy speaker, he has been senator, he has been defense minister, he has been governor of one of the most populous states in Nigeria. With this CV, and none of them has got 1% of his record of performance while in public office, in the field of education, in the field of health, in the field of infrastructural development.
Are there any opinion polls or any statistics that you can point to use as an empirical measure?
Do you need hypothetical statistics?
Yeah, but you're being hypothetical.
Go to Kano and see.
You're being hypothetical.
I am not hypothetical.
You're not using empirical figures.
What do you want to, which one do you want me to verify to you?
I'm asking you.
Are there any empirical figures? Of my claims,
yeah.
Which one do you want me to verify?
I am saying, are there any empirical statistical figures that you can use?
Let me use education
to verify.
I'm
talking about figures. I mean, are there opinion polls in Cross River State, opinion polls in Delta State, opinion polls in the states you talked about?
It's because we had been there and we saw how we were received. That is the visual evidence.
So in that context, and you have to allow me to get a question in here. In that context, how formidable do you see his political opponents? And let's narrow it to the other three, Atiku Abubakar, Bola Tinubu, and Peter Obi. And how do you assess their chances against Rabiu Kwankwaso?
Now, I've dealt with two, Tinubu I said Kwankwaso was in Lagos 5 weeks ago, and his crowd was shown on this your station.
Yeah, just because he had a large crowd doesn't mean he's going to win the election. That's not a scientific way of gauging.
Do you know what the Hausa people say? Do you know what the Hausa people say? They have a saying.
What?
Like your people say, that the evidence of strength is in the size of the person. Let any of them, let Tinubu go to Lagos and gather half of that crowd, Kwankwaso will surrender the presidency to him.
Well, in fairness, the campaign season hasn't actually started. It starts on the 28th of September, and we can then assess those crowd numbers from that period. So
until we reach there, our own is visual and practical is shown. Right. Until somebody else come and show that he has more crowd than we are, okay, then we will concede.
Let's look at it from another angle. Mm-hmm. Your candidate has been accused of making a lot of unguarded utterances that have been credited to him. For instance, he's quoted as saying that Northerners would not vote for Peter Obi or any Southeasterner if he is made the flag bearer of the merger of the Labour Party and the NNPP. That's a most unpresidential statement coming from a man who is talking about being president and uniting a divided country, don't you think?
Charles, I think you are a racist.
Well, I can't be a racist. Nigeria is full of black people.
You are.
You're only a racist in a country that has different races.
You see, every statement must be taken in its proper context.
Right. That's why I'm asking you to put it in context.
I chaired the committee that was to bring about the ticket of Kwankwaso Peter Obi. I chaired.
Right.
And it is on record that Kwankwaso said, looking at the circumstance today in the country, he has galvanized the North, and the North is in his pocket because he's more popular, he's more trusted than any other candidate. If he abdicates that and become Peter Obi's running mate, that the Northerners would not vote for their ticket, including himself. They would rather vote for Atiku, who is one of them. That does not mean that he said Northerners will not vote for anymore, because it included himself if he's on the ticket.
Right, but you do agree.
Listen now.
Right,
of course, I can justify. You know that I'm not afraid of taking a position.
Absolutely.
On any issue. He said, and we concurred and we agree that if he's the president, Peter Obi's people will not run away from him. That is the Southeast people. Because it's only Peter Obi that they have. And it's only Peter Obi that they have as vice president, which is better than nothing. But for the North, they have another presidential candidate to whom they can switch. So, please.
Okay, I see the point you're making, and I'm not necessarily agreeing with it, but
you have to agree with it because that is the reality.
But I do see the point you're making. We haven't got that much time, so I want to move on. How will Rabiu Kwankwaso change the lives of millions of Nigerians for the better if he becomes president in 2020?
That is an excellent question. Excellent. How did he change the life of Kano people? It is the most populous state.
A lot of people in Kano are very poor at the moment.
Yes and no. In even in Saudi Arabia, there are poor people.
Yeah, but you've got vast numbers of very poor
in Saudi Arabia,
in Kano,
and in Japan, and in US, where you lived all your life. Sir, today, Kano is the most peaceful state in Nigeria, despite its cosmopolitan nature, and despite its size, and despite the large population. It is peaceful because a foundation for peace was laid by engineer Rabiu Kwankwaso. How did he do that? All bad boys, maybe like me, were mopped up from the street, rehabilitated, taught skill, and given capital to start a business, and that business today is flourishing not only to themselves, to their families, or to Kano, but to Nigeria. That was the antidote of that peace. We have no peace because all governors, I dare say, 90% of the governors steal public funds, convert local government money. Money is not in circulation, therefore created hungry, angry people that took up arms in order to survive. And Kwankwaso established 26 institutes that were to train people in various trades, and they were given capital to start business.
Right.
And Nigeria, unless of course there is a conscious effort by leaders to give everybody a level playing ground, give everybody and teach everybody an opportunity to be on his own or to employ himself or to employ others, we will be deviled with insecurity.
Okay, I'm going to have to, I would love to talk to you for a very long time, because you really are an interesting person, and you and I have spoken many, many times in the past, but unfortunately I'm out of time. But I want to thank you exceedingly for coming onto the program. Buba Galadima, who is now a leading member of the new Nigerian People's Party, or NNPP. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, sir.